biggest problem I saw for loan officers is actually bringing coaching and business strategies into their business relative to me being in the trenches. Through my career, I had the hardest time advancing my business because I was getting coaching or leadership from individuals that weren't even in the space. And what I had found through that is it was more of a brainstorming session for the both of us than it was for coaching. I tend to strive to be the best at the companies that I work for, and I'm finally now at a company that has multiple layers of success above me. But as I've been building out a branch and bringing in loan officers to work for the company that are managed underneath me, I realized that I needed to automate a process that was easy to deploy on multiple people at one time, because I was having continuous conversations over and over and over with these loan officers, and they didn't really have a data source or a course to go back to remind themselves. They kept coming into my door. So what I realized is, in order for me to have the biggest impact I can on as many loan officers as I could, was to share my stories, share my business models, expose the tools that I've always been secretive of, because I felt like if I let the world know about these great tools, then all of a sudden now I wouldn't be valuable in the field. But as I started to coach loan officers and help them with their success, it was more fulfilling for me to share all the tools and all the things that I was doing than it was to kind of hold them or hinder them from sharing. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have spent tons of time and tons of money trying to figure out what is successful and what is not successful. And I have taken all of those successful things and thrown them into this course. You'll see very little in the course about spending money on marketing, spending money on meals and entertainment. It's very tactical, it's nitty-gritty, and it's recipes to success that actually work. One of the best conversations I've ever had with anyone that's in coaching, I sat down and worked with a guy for about 2.5 months. I think it was about 2.5 months, could have been a month and a half. But anyway, him and I were having a conversation every week, 4 times a month. I was paying this guy like $3,000 a month. And he finally said to me, "Anthony, I gotta stop working with you. You're doing all the right things, you're making all the right moves, you're successful, you're at the wrong company." So what that told me is, okay, I've got this business base put together that I'm teaching now in this course. I had to leave a company in order for that model to work exceptionally well. But it took me years and years and years to structure that and implement it into my daily actions. And then what happened is, once I was repetitively doing the things that I'm teaching over and over, I maxed out on my time. I couldn't fit another deal in the door because I was doing so much business. I then had to leave the company I was working at and go work for a company that could support those other levels of success so that I was able to surpass my success. This is easy, everybody hears this the same, man. One of the things that I think better said is, I wish I just did old school sales. Everybody talks about try this marketing out, buy this lead source, do this, do that. What I've realized is old school sales, block and tackle sales, which is, I want to work with this person. Do I relate to this person, and can I see myself working with this person for years to come? If I were to implement that faster into my business, I would have been more successful. Evolving into a 1%er is pretty simple. It essentially means you're outpacing 99% of the market. This is designed to help you get there faster and give you the baseline so that you can continue on daily without any mysteries in your business of understanding how to succeed and be successful. Within this course, we're going to go through several stages, but first we're going to start with mindset. When I started taking some of the largest incremental jumps in my business, it was because I was focusing on my mind. Essentially what happened is I created a business baseline of actions that I was taking every day in order to grow my relationships, grow my referral sources, but I kept hitting this small ceiling and I couldn't figure out where that ceiling was. Once I started focusing on my mindset, That helped me push through that ceiling and continue to grow my success. The reason why we're gonna start there is because I didn't have that coaching in my career, which I desperately needed in order to help me advance faster. By starting with your mindset, we're gonna get everything in order up here in order for you to grow your business through these multiple channels. Once we get our hands around mindset, we're gonna focus on branding. In a business that's oversaturated with tons of loan officers, many different companies, pretty much all selling the same products, you really need to dig deep and figure out how you're gonna make yourself different amongst all of your competition. After branding, we're gonna get into the nuts and bolts of your business. This is where we will be building structure into your daily actions so that you've got a simplified business model so you know how to chase multiple pillar sources like past clients, your sphere, real estate agents, financial advisors, non-for-profit. We're gonna get into some lead generation, and then we're gonna focus on incorporating your personal hobbies back into your business so you can start having fun with what you're doing day to day and it doesn't necessarily feel like all work. We're gonna coach you on touch points, on how to communicate effectively with those different pillar segments. You're gonna talk to financial advisors a lot differently than you're gonna talk to real estate agents. You're gonna handle past clients much differently than you're gonna handle your sphere, and you're definitely gonna handle non-for-profit and lead generation different than the rest. We're gonna establish one business goal so you only have one thing to focus on every year, and that's gonna be your continued business goal until you accomplish it. For some, that can happen shortly. For others, it may take a year or 2 years. But if you repetitively focus on one business goal, that helps you simplify your business and allows you to yield that success quicker. After we teach you the nut and bolts of how you need to grow your business and how you need to infuse structure into your daily actions, we're gonna go through and we're gonna start to build out accountability models. Those accountability models can be tailored to your own taste and your own desires, but the reason why we need somewhat of a system is so that you can hit the ground running right out the gate. Once we get some daily accountability models established, we're then gonna go back and wrap it all up and talk about applying it all.